You stole $800 million. Traoré fires Glencore CEO in explosive showdown. A historic reckoning in Burkina Faso. President Ibrahim Traoré has done what many once thought impossible. He has expelled Glencore, one of the world's most powerful mining corporations, from African soil, and the world is watching. Our report tonight: 800 million stolen. Africa strikes back. In an extraordinary and unprecedented move, Burkina Faso's president, Ibrahim Traoré, has personally confronted Glencore CEO Richard Morrison and ordered him out of the country. The charge? Decades of plunder, ecological devastation, and the theft of an estimated $800 million in African wealth. Sources inside the presidential palace tell Vlog ND that Morrison arrived in Ouagadougou expecting a routine negotiation. What he got instead was a national broadcast tribunal surrounded by armed guards, furious ministers, and mountains of evidence. Shout out to our dear subscribers. We would not be here without you. To our non-subscribing friends, your support is as valuable. If you can take a second to hit the subscribe button, that will be fantastic. Images of polluted rivers, poisoned children, destroyed villages, and damning internal documents were displayed on giant monitors. Traoré, calm but resolute, accused Glencore of committing environmental crimes, exploiting African leaders through bribes and blackmail, and engineering poverty to maintain dominance over the region. Traoré's words were direct: "You poisoned our children. You stole our future. You are no longer welcome here." The confrontation, broadcast live, had immediate and seismic consequences. Glencore's stock price plummeted. African governments from Ghana to South Africa initiated contract reviews, froze assets, and launched investigations. What Traoré began in Burkina Faso became a continental uprising. Perhaps the most shocking evidence? A spreadsheet from Glencore titled "African Death Projections," calculating compensation costs for expected deaths due to mining contamination. The numbers were cold. The outrage? Explosive. Then came the final blow: a signed eviction order. All Glencore assets in Burkina Faso were nationalized. Their executives were given 24 hours to evacuate or face arrest for crimes against humanity. Glencore threatened legal action, claiming contracts and protections under international law. But Traoré was unshaken, saying, "We recognize no authority that places profits over African lives." The scenes across former Glencore mines are celebratory. Workers are now under public employment, salaries have tripled, safety gear is being distributed, and plans for local mineral processing plants are underway, a first in the country's history. But this was not merely reactive. President Traoré had spent months building a legal and economic counteroffensive, including alliances with state-owned enterprises and international lawyers from Brazil, India, and China. They're ready to battle in court and, more importantly, to replace Glencore's monopoly with fair partnerships that benefit African citizens. Across the globe, the dominoes are falling. Ghana. Emergency parliamentary session called. Nigeria. Assets under investigation. South Africa. Judicial inquiry launched. Congo, Tanzania, Zambia. Major contract suspensions. Even beyond Africa, in Colombia, Peru, and Kazakhstan, Glencore's operations are now under renewed scrutiny. The dividends are already real. Burkina Faso has seen an 800% increase in mining revenue, jobs are multiplying, and long-abandoned communities are finally seeing investment in health, education, and infrastructure. Transparency reforms, real-time revenue tracking, and citizen oversight committees are now in place. Of course, global reaction is split. Western financial institutions have condemned Traoré's actions, while human rights and environmental groups have praised them. But in the eyes of millions across the continent, a new chapter has begun. President Traoré declared, "We will no longer accept crumbs from our own table. The age of exploitation is over. Africa is not for sale." And if the ripple effect across the continent is any sign, this could mark the beginning of Africa's second liberation, not political, but economic. From stolen billions to a roaring movement, Burkina Faso has drawn a line in the sand. And as one of the world's most powerful CEOs stumbled out of a palace stripped of authority, the world witnessed the roar of a continent reclaiming its voice. We'll continue to follow the legal fallout and the transformation underway. For Vlog ND, I'm Sal Pierre. Stay informed. Stay empowered. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share videos. We appreciate your support so much.